So it's all gone right quick.
All
Uh,
right.
I was doing a little bit of research too because I was looking at new computers this week, uh,
Okay.
which you'll love this. And I think I figured out what's going on with my laptop every time it freezes. So um, I keep track of like my task manager. I have like a little widget that keeps track of task managers. Um, and I noticed that the CPU usage tends to be really high, even though like my RAM usage is like at 26%. Like right now, my CPU usage is like at 90, like 70 to like 90, even though I just restarted my computer.
Yeah.
And I was doing a little bit of research. It seems like my CPU is bad. It's not a great CPU, right? So I need to get a new one. So I'm actually gonna build a computer. So I'm actually looking into getting all that stuff in. Um,
Nice.
Build it from scratch. It's going to take a couple months or a couple weeks at least. Uh,
Yeah.
Kind of get that done to get all the parts in. But
Man, I'll see if I can find it. Somebody had gave me a link a while back. They let you spec out a computer, right? But then they'll
mhm.
give you links to all the parts that you need to build it.
Nice. Okay, I need that. um, I haven't built a computer in a long time, and I
Yeah.
usually tend to just buy it. But I'm kind of thinking like the more I do stuff like this, and just buying my own computer, it's a little bit more modular, right?
Yeah,
Um,
man.
so that's gonna be it. That's the thing. So yeah, problem not problem solved, but like mystery solved. Because I was wondering like why the hell is my computer like acting up all weird right now? It's like I have great specs. Oh my
Time
god.
for it to be retired.
I only bought it
That's
a
what it
couple years
is.
ago. I bought it a couple
Still.
years ago, but it just seems like it just look. I was just looking up the CPU, and it was like it says like middle of the line CPU, like kind of in the middle, and it's like I think I need it to be at the top, a top
Hmm.
tier CPU. Problem with that though is because of the global shortages and whatnot. Like right now, it's like hovering at 100%, so it won't surprise me if it like cut out right now. But because of like the global shortages and whatnot, um, that it's going to be hard and more expensive to like get like GPU and all that stuff. But yeah,
That's right.
that's a little nerd talk. But yeah, man. Welcome to the Targeted Podcast, everyone. Sorry for a little bit delay. I am Sahid. That is Nicholas's.
You're gonna do this every time, aren't you?
I
Okay.
really am. That's Nicholas's sis. um, so no. So welcome, right? We're off last week. I think you had some big things to take care of
Yes,
on
sir.
the business out there, but congratulations.
Thank
Um,
you. Thank you.
Closing on the new house and whatnot. Yeah, you're buying it at the. I think you bought it like at just the right time too, right? Right when like mortgage prices is just like just shut up, right?
Yeah,
So
try to scoot in there before. I mean, it's already crazy just with
yeah,
the lack of inventory and people trying to get
yeah,
homes or whatnot. But yes, we found a good deal, man. So we're really happy about it. So
yeah, yeah, absolutely. So no, yeah, no, excited. All right, a little bit of a story time, because it's gonna go well into our next topic, our first topic. So
oh.
a couple weeks ago, I was looking at my stock, like my stock portfolio, right?
Okay.
Um, and I noticed a stock that I didn't buy in my portfolio, and I was like, "What the f is this stock? Like, I didn't buy this. Like, what the hell is going on here?" Right? The stock was, um, let me see if I remember it.
Don't tell me it was Warner,
It
Netflix or
was
something.
it was Warner Brothers stock, right?
Oh,
So
okay, okay.
right, so it was WBO, which I'm trying to get the actual ticker for it. I think it's what is it called? I think it's WBD. That's what it's called. Yeah.
Warner
So
Brothers Discovery.
yeah,
Yep.
Warner Bros. Discovery. So saw Warner Bros. Discovery, did not buy any of it, right? So but I saw it in my stock portfolio. I was like, well, how the f did this get here, right? And I realized it was Warner Brothers Discovery. And then just doing a little bit more reading, I did own AT&T stock, right? So what happened was that AT&T used to
That's
own
right.
Warner Brothers, right? And they divested like that part of their business and they merged it with Discovery, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what. So if you owned AT&T stock, you're entitled to like some Warner Brothers Discovery stock. Like I forgot exactly what the scenario, like the percentages was, but that was a reason why I had Warner Brothers Discovery in like my stock portfolio because it divested from AT&T, right? Now to our first topic, like thoughts on all this. Nicholas, like
The
I
big
mean,
merger.
it's a pretty big merger. It and I think I sent you a link earlier this week too about how it affected CNN Plus because
That was a waste anyway, man.
yeah, I
I'm
mean
sorry.
they just they just like opened it, right,
Yeah.
for a couple weeks ago, and then they automatically like just shut it down, right, the second like the merger came in. So I was like, dang, that's that's
Yeah.
crazy, right? This affects a lot of stuff too. It affects HBO Max. It's going to affect the
DC
DC,
Comics.
yeah, which will
Yep.
get DCU like at least cinematic universes and whatnot, which we'll get into later. But yeah, thoughts on thoughts on that shit. I mean, it's going to be interesting because this goes in a little bit in hand with like what we're also going to talk about too, Netflix, because they're going through a lot of grief right now with competition and whatnot. So yeah,
I
it's
mean,
time.
yeah, I wasn't really surprised about the CNN thing just because, like, when I think about where I get my news from, I mean, I have the CNN app, right?
Mhm.
Uh, and I get updates from there. But I mean, I really just use my Google feed, to be honest with you,
Yeah.
because it's all based on my interest anyway, right? So I get the articles that I actually care about. And then, when I want to know like the mainstream news or whatever, like I have the CNN app. I'm not really the type of person to sit down and watch the news. I'm not even sure like if people are really watching the news like that for real
Yeah.
anymore. Anyway,
That's true.
um, so when you think about like a CNN streaming service, I think about the type of content that they might have on there. I mean, I know it definitely doesn't interest me at all,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So no big surprise. I mean, I think people are just taking the news. You check the headlines, right? You're taking your news
Yeah.
in snippets these days. And
Oh
if
yeah.
something actually interests you, then you'll do a little bit more research on it, right? Because
Yeah.
I feel like I'm not even sure how much you can really trust the news sources anymore, right? You got Fox News who does they cater to one audience. You have
They're news, right? News.
you have other news outlets that cater to other news
Yeah.
to other audiences. And so I mean it's really on you, like the viewer, the person who's digesting all this content, to kind of like make your way through it and make and find the ones that most like make sense to you, or
Yeah.
try to find the truth on your own, right? You might see a headline that's like,
Yeah.
let me look this up. Let me see what's going on or whatever. You know
Yeah.
what I
What's so funny is that you kind of mentioned a little bit of what's wrong with kind of news in general, where the sense that a lot of this catered or catered news, right? Where you only listen to the news that you care about, which is a little bit part of the problem too with our society. Like with when you look
mean?
at
Yeah.
like where we are with Fox News. I mean, with like just fake news and whatnot. Like we just listen to news that kind of protects our own worldview and kind of pretty much enriches our biases already, right? So
Yeah, but I
I
mean, I
guess
think it's good and bad to that, right? Because
yeah,
you want to be able to pick your own content. But if you go back to like think about back in the day, like I was talking to my dad about this, there was a guy. I think his name was like Walter Cronkite or something like that, like
yes,
some news guy like back in the day. But basically,
very
like
famous news person, Walter Cronkite.
everybody tuned into this dude. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So it's like, what would you rather have? the one source of news that everybody's like looking at and getting the stuff from, or would you have like rather have multiple outlets and multiple viewpoints? You know what I mean? It's
Well, okay, yeah, I think that's where we're debating apples and oranges. I think Walter Cronkite, so if I remember, he's before my time. I think he may be one of
yeah,
the he's definitely before both of our times actually. Um, which is saying something because we're old. But
they're not that old, man. We're not that.
but like I think I'm gonna probably gonna mess this up, but I think
Somebody's
we're
about to fact check you.
yeah, I'm going to get that checked. I think it was one of the main news anchors in for like CNN. So CNN, they started this whole 24-hour news cycle situation where you have a news channel, kind of like ESPN, almost like 24-hour sports, where I think that actually
Mm-hmm.
got off of ESPN, CNN first, where like you can just turn the channel on, you can see the news. Now it's all like cultivated news based off your opinion, which is interesting. We talked about Fox News, which is hilarious. So one of their like news anchors, his name is Chris Wallace. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know if you're familiar with him. He did the first presidential debate between President Trump and Biden, which was like a total clusterfuck. But
Oh yeah, yeah.
but he's done other presidential debates. He's been great, and he's tends to be like a very solid like newscaster. But he actually left Fox News, and one of the reasons that he cited was because like it just became really difficult to work there because of their love-hate relationship with Donald Trump, right?
Yeah.
Uh, what's interesting though is that where he went to go work afterwards? CNN Plus, right?
I mean,
The one
you
that
know,
was the funk CNN Plus. So
between Fox and CNN, that's the two big dogs. I mean, you leave one, gotta go to the other one.
yeah, well, I mean, he went to CNN Plus. The point is that CNN Plus is no longer a thing anymore because because he just got rid of it. Um, so yeah, absolutely. But yeah, it's gonna be pretty interesting with kind of just how they organize their just just their work, right? Like we're in the streaming wars right now.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
we have the Netflix, which we'll talk about later. We have Disney Plus, which actually we'll talk about later. We have HBO Max.
I
So
mean, you
there's
might
so
as
many.
well just get ready to talk about it. But you know what's
Well,
crazy though? Like
yeah,
when I heard about the merger, right? Like Warner and Discovery, and I started seeing the commercials about like the Discovery streaming service. I
yeah,
was like, who's gonna watch that? Like, I was like, but then I started thinking about like I'd be watching House Hunters, you know, especially since I was looking for a house. I was all over House Hunters and House
yeah.
Hunters renovations. So I mean, but outside of that, I was like, I don't know Discovery. Like, I don't know. You know what I
Uh,
mean?
Shout out to Marika Spellman. Um, she was like, "What's up, cuz?"
Yeah, what's happening, Cuzzo?
Yeah. So she's up on our Facebook feeds.
All
Thanks
right.
for watching, Marika. I got that right?
Yeah. Marquia.
Or Kia. I don't
Yeah.
you want to correct me.
I know I was letting you go. My bad, Cuzzo.
Just
I
making
got
me
him.
a
I
fool of
got him.
myself. Oh my god. So that's fun. Yeah. No, but this is actually going to hit our next topic, right? Which is the DCEU, because as you both know, we're both DC fans, right?
Yes.
And you're
And I
more
got my
optimistic
Batman head
about
out here now.
yeah, you're more optimistic about the DCEU. I gotta admit, I am starting to dig the background a little bit more now. Now I just sit there, kind of an
Dude.
old manish, mature. All I need is a cigar. All I need is a cigar right now. And now,
I feel like I'm in my
no,
study
no,
right now. You know what I mean?
you kind of are in a study right now.
Yeah.
It's nice. I like it. Your dad has good taste, or your parents have good taste.
Yeah, of course.
Uh,
Of course.
yeah, too bad the apple fell far from the tree on that one. Anyway, so
Whatever.
I gotta hit you with one. No, so yeah, uh, all this Warner Brothers Discovery stuff, right, affects kind of things that we like a lot, which is DCEU. As you know, I have a bunch of streaming services. I have I got rid of cable, right?
Might as well.
And got everything else. I'm pretty much sure I'm paying, if not more, about the same as when I had cable. I have YouTube TV for like my live sports stuff, so watch my NBA playoffs and whatnot. I have Disney Plus because my sister and her kids, and also I watch Disney Plus. I won't lie, but I'll blame it on them. I have HBO Max. I have Netflix, right? And I'm trying my best just to leave it at that. I have Amazon Prime as well.
Well, I think everybody, Amazon, I think you're gonna have anyway, right? Just because of the deliveries and everything.
Well, I think there is a way to not have like Amazon Prime Video though. You can have Amazon Prime
Oh,
Video, I think. Um,
huh. I didn't know
but
that. So what
yeah,
about like Peacock and Hulu? You're not really messing with those?
yeah, I'm not messing with those. I
And
may
Paramount.
reconsider. Not even that either. I may
Okay.
reconsider like once. I think I bought my Disney Plus deal like years ago, and I think it's running out this year. Where it turns out to like I bought it for like $144, right, for a couple of years. Um, and I think it's gonna run out this year. And I think Disney Plus has a deal that you can get Hulu too as well, right?
Yeah, well, it's like a Disney, Hulu, ESPN bundle package or something
Yeah. So I may get it.
like that.
Um, just for I'm gonna saying what's up to your cousin. Um,
Don't be hitting my cousin in the DMs, man. Calm that down. Calm that noise. she
oh my
she
god,
told me she
that's
had
so
one
funny.
rule: nobody that lives in the dorm room. So you out the game anyway. You out.
Oh my god, you're saying I'm not good enough all of a sudden? That's so funny.
Oh
I
man.
need to put some pictures up. Some random
Right?
pictures up.
Who's your decorator? Prison
Uh,
ward?
I do. Damn, I do need to put some stuff up. No, I'll probably be doing more of that like later. I think I told you
Yeah.
new laptop. I'm gonna get a new desktop. I'm gonna get a bigger desk, and we'll probably do some more cleaning around, make this a little bit more homey. But regardless, back to HBO Max. So yeah, I'm curious to see where it goes with this, right? They also, this is the
Hmm.
part that I wanted to tell you too. Like they're thinking about redoing like the DC universe, like again. like
I
once
mean, why not? But I think that was always going to happen in some way because of the Flash movie and the story that they were trying to tell with that anyway. That was going to happen, right?
yeah.
Now it's just a matter of like what they want to happen. You know what I'm saying? You know, there's going to be some reshoots unless
Yeah.
Ezra Miller continues screwing that up. You know what I mean?
We'll talk about him.
So we'll talk about that too.
we'll talk about him. By the way, shout out to TK Chronicles of the Black Sheep podcast. So he just texted saying what's up.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
thanks
we
for
got to hit those guys. They followed us, gave us a sub, man. So we're gonna hit y'all back, do the same. I took a little preview of the content earlier, man. Y'all doing some good stuff. So shout out to y'all for sure.
yeah. So shout out to you guys. Thank you guys for watching. Yeah, no, it's gonna be interesting. Like I don't know what they have such top down issues when it comes to their movies, creating their movies, right? And you
Yeah.
know, I've said my shit against like Zack Snyder a bunch of times, right? And made fun of him. But it goes without
Blasphemy.
saying, it goes without saying though, like a lot of his problems with his movies were also from production interference, right?
Absolutely.
Warner Brothers, right?
Absolutely.
I have no problem saying that. And Patty Jenkins said the same thing when she was making Wonder Woman, right?
Yup.
Ayer said the same thing when he was making like Suicide Squad. So, not to mention the cyborg character, I forgot his name.
Oh
He
man. Well,
so
he
many.
tried to beef with like the entire studio. I knew it wasn't
Oh,
gonna go well, but he kind of got proven right with when they released the Snyder cut
oh
about how
yeah,
they did his character, though, for sure.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. No, but they've had some problems for a while, so I'm curious. hopefully it'll get better. I mean, they have some movies coming down the pike already, right? With
Wonder Woman 3 is in the works.
Wonder
I'm really looking forward to Black Adam. I'm really looking forward to Black Adam. Just
yeah.
because it's going to be a different set of characters. I feel like we're seeing like a different corner of the DC universe with that group of characters right there. And
I'll admit too, I liked so I like the Doctor Fate in. I know you haven't been keeping up with the series.
No, I'm up on it.
Oh, Young Justice.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
So yeah, so the Nabu character, right?
yeah,
I really like him, right?
yeah,
I don't think they're gonna
yeah.
do that in this this up and coming series that's coming on right now with the Rock. I'll just say this though. Excited for it. I'm cautiously optimistic.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I think the Rock's gonna do an ancient Egyptian accent.
Well, yeah. I mean,
He's just gonna be himself. And I mean
as
we'll just
long
see
as he doesn't say, that's some bitch or something like that, I think I think that'll be what. I mean, the guy has a range, man. I'm not gonna hate on The Rock. We know he has like there's a certain range, but I think
yeah.
if you have the right characters around him, like I like Aldous Hodge. I think he's a good actor, right?
Yeah.
Obviously Pierce Brosnan. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But so
But
let's take it back to
you can have good
the
actors and still be a shitty movie though, right?
that is very true.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Again, I'm a glass half full type guy. I'm a
Yeah.
glass half full type
I
guy.
mean, look at Eternals, right?
Well,
Lined up with great actors, and a really good Oscar-winning director, and that was just a shit movie. Like it was just
you thought
like
it was shit. It has its issues. I don't think it's as bad as everybody was saying, though.
I will say this. Okay, maybe not a total dipshit of a movie, but its biggest problem was that there were just too many characters and too many things to remember, right?
I agree.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like and that really just kind of brought the movie down.
Yeah.
Like
But no, but
the only movie I've watched, only MCU movie I've only watched once, and have no desire of watching again.
so you watched Captain Marvel more than one time.
I've watched Captain Marvel more than one time. Yes.
Wow. So sorry for you.
I didn't think it was terrible. I didn't think
I
it was
did
terrible.
not
Eternals
did not
was
enjoy the
just
movie at all. But no, but let's take it back to the streamers, right? So like,
yeah.
because I was more, you said you have pretty much most of them. I was more selective with mine. Like I did the Disney thing for the kids. They had like the 3-year program or 3-year, like if you do it ahead of time or whatever. So I did
Yeah,
that.
I did that too.
And it's pretty much that and Netflix. You know what I
Really?
mean? And I consider like going into some of the other ones because all the other streaming services have, I have YouTube TV or whatever, but all the other streaming services have like a certain show that I would want to watch. Like I forget which one has it. I think it's Paramount. They have the Halo show. I would want to watch that. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want to watch it bad enough for me to pay $10 a month
Yeah.
for all the services that have that one series that I want to watch. You know what I'm saying?
No, you're right. So for example, you
I have
talked
HBO
about
too.
Peacock earlier, right? Like
Yeah.
the only way I would watch Peacock was only to watch The Office. And as much as I love The Office, I'm not spending $10, $15 a month just for a streaming service.
I'm really not, man. And The Office
By
was
the
on
way,
Netflix anyway.
yeah, it's still on Netflix if you use your VPN, right? If you change your VPN to Canada, so they don't have Peacock in Canada,
I
you can
forgot
watch
about
it.
that trick.
Uh,
Yeah.
so yeah, you can. There's stuff there, but I'm curious as to how like this will affect, you know, the DCEU, and it makes me wonder if it's just that much closer to Disney buying up the property, right?
I don't
Just
think that's gonna happen, man.
just
Warner
like
Brothers owns DC
Fox,
Comics, dog. That's
they
not gonna
do.
happen. Warner Brothers isn't gonna give up DC Comics, man.
Well, no, but they almost sold their shit to Fox, right? Fox eventually spun off all their like entertainment access, entertainment I said access, but entertainment subsidiary to Disney, right?
Well, I
So
mean, they had all the Disney movies. I mean, it was X-Men. Was it? Did they do Daredevil? They did Daredevil. Yeah, they
yeah.
did Daredevil.
Well, no,
Um,
I don't think it was Fox.
I think Fox did Daredevil, man.
Yes, no, you're right. They did do Daredevil.
Yeah.
They did do Daredevil. Um, was it Fox or was it Sony?
No, it was Fox. Sony's
Yeah,
been in bed with Spider-Man. Like
yeah.
that was their
Well,
thing.
I mean, I would just say this: like these, like multimedia things are they're much bigger than like what we know them as with DCEU, like in Sony and Marvel and all that stuff. It's much bigger than that. But still, I'm curious. I don't know what's going to happen with it. So it's a little concerning because what's happening is that um, our content is being consumed or being produced by only a handful of like companies, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, with Disney,
That's the scary part.
yeah, it's very scary, right? That kind of happens. So we'll have to see where that kind of shows up. With that. But speaking of like streaming services and things that aren't going well right now, Netflix. Do you hear that shit?
Yeah, but this is the thing though. I mean, I think it's just because I mean they're a big headline right now, but it's not like they're doing bad, right? They
Yeah,
lost 200, was it 200,000 subscribers, right?
they lost a good bit of subscribers. It was the first time in so it was the first time in like since their inception where they've lost like subscribers. I think the thing to keep mindful of though is that there's so much more competition now, right?
That's what
And
I'm saying. Like they're
yeah,
like, oh, yeah, they lost 200,000. I think they're saying like the number could go up to 2 million.
yeah,
And now all of a sudden, whereas before they were against it, now they're talking about adding like an ad supported tier to the platform. But my
also, they're
thing
trying
is,
to make
man,
games too. They're trying to make games as
yeah, they're
well.
trying to get into the gaming spot, which I'm not mad at. You can download some of their stuff in like the Google Play Store or whatever. They're
Yeah.
starting off small, obviously. But the entire reason for me to get one of these streaming services, especially like a Netflix or HBO or whatever, is because I don't want commercials. I would
Yeah.
never pay for ad
Exactly.
for the ad version.
Exactly.
I would never do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't want the commercials. That's the whole point.
Yeah. It makes you wonder if like they'll make their services free with heavy commercials now, right?
Oh God.
Which
Might as well just freaking watch TV. It's funny how cyclical it is, right?
yeah,
Because we went
no,
from all the cable companies, they're
cut
just
it.
running everything. I don't have
Yeah.
any choice, yada, yada, yada. So now you get streaming services that have all the choices in the world
Yeah.
without commercials. Now they're coming back. We're going to put commercials back in here.
Yeah. No,
Even Sony and Xbox are talking about putting commercials into their free to play games now. Heard about
oh,
that? I'm
oh,
not even trying to get you too sidetracked. I'm not trying to get you too sidetracked, but we can definitely touch on that too.
that's a different topic for another day. So many thoughts went through my head just at that moment.
So
Like,
imagine you're playing Call of Duty Warzone and you run by like a 7-Eleven or AT&T storefront or something crazy like that.
yeah. Have you seen Ready Player One? I'm sure
I
you have.
love that movie.
Yeah, it's a great
Yeah.
movie. So in that movie, which you just reminded me of, right, was the part where the bad corporation, I forgot whatever the guy's name is, he was trying to buy the Oasis, and what they wanted to do was they trying to fill all the player screens with like ad commercials, right?
Yeah.
And you say we can fill eight. They literally said this in the movie. This is we can fill 80% of the person's screen before they induce a seizure. And I'm like, shit, like
That's the type of stuff that they'll study up on, man. That's the type of
yeah.
stuff they use the data analytics on, man.
As mustache twirling evil as that sounds, is like I could probably see companies do this, right? Like
Yeah.
right before, or just put the warning of, yeah, you've been warned, you might get a seizure, and you get a seizure, like that's in your ass right there.
Yeah,
And
man.
good luck with healthcare.
So
So
what so what bothers me now too is so evidently I don't even know how you do this, okay? people share their Netflix passwords, people share their HBO passwords, whatever streaming service you have, people are going to share the password,
Yeah.
right? So now Netflix has made this thing like, hey, we are going to crack down on password sharing. My question is, how do you do that?
Well, oh, there are absolutely ways you can do that. You can ensure that. So what you can do is kind of like how with work, how they try to force you to reset your password. You can do that with like the devices that you're in, right? Or you can also limit the number of devices your Netflix account can like attached to. I've gone through this with like a bunch of other like services as well, right? Where you're only allowed to have up to like 4 devices like attached, right? So in my case,
Well, that's what they had before was like Netflix was, I think they had like, you could have two, I think it was two devices watching simultaneously or whatever.
yeah. So let's say if you share, let's say if I
I
share a
mean,
password with you, right? My account only allows for 2 devices, right? That means if I try to share my account with my mom, right, they'll get some like you're connecting to 3 different devices. That's a negative, right? So that's how they'll do that. The problem though is how invasive that they'll have to be to accomplish this, right? Which is kind of their problem. Netflix though, they're not really they're trying to get in the game of this, but they're not so much great with like original content yet. Like they've had some good stuff. Like I love the documentaries, right? You're not gonna you're not gonna pull a lot of people to your cause with documentaries, unfortunately. Even though I'm much
no, they have a lot of good original content, man. I gotta disagree with you on that.
well, I
I
don't
gotta
think
disagree with you on that.
I don't think they are as good as Disney's original content. Like not
Well,
even
I mean, you got
right.
Marvel and Star Wars. Yeah, it's kind of hard
Yeah.
to,
So
you know.
you don't have the Disney. So why are we going to the movies now, right? We're going to movies to see essentially like superhero movies, right? That's been like the biggest like stuff, right? So Disney's kind of got that pretty much a lot of the biggest superhero genres in like ever like on their platform. Star Wars and Marvel, right? And then you
Yeah,
have uh Warner Brothers or HBO Max, they have the Game of Thrones. They have
we got
the
DC. I mean,
they have
love it
DC.
or hate it,
They have all that
got to.
stuff, right? Um, like Netflix, they don't have anything close to that. They have some really good original shows, right? Like I said, I love their documentaries, but their original shows aren't that great, right?
I don't
So
know because you got the Ozarks, which
yeah,
is highly rated. There
you
was a
have
joint with it was a political minded show. It was
Stranger
like Game of
Things,
Thrones and politics. Yeah, Stranger Things.
yeah,
But there was like the political
House of
shows they had
Cards.
too. House of Cards. That's what I was talking
Yeah.
about. House of
But
Cards. I
like
was
House
thinking
of
about.
Cards isn't a thing anymore, right?
Yeah.
Maybe Stranger Things. I haven't watched Stranger Things, but
They
I've
had
heard
the four Marvel shows. Those were big for them too. And
they're
before
not there
before
anymore.
Disney bought them back. Yeah, I mean before they
They're
bought
not
them
there
back. You know what
anymore.
I mean?
Right. That's the point, right? So
Yeah,
they also
yeah.
cancel a lot of their shows super quickly. So for
That's the
example,
annoying thing about them is
yeah,
that they
like
cancel them
you'll
so fast.
yeah, they cancel them like really, really quickly. Like so for example, we talked about like Cowboy Bebop and
Oh, horrible show.
I would say watch the anime. The anime was great.
Horrible show.
The show was I'll go so far as this. I'll say I'm happy that they didn't copy too much, try to make it a one-for-one copy of the anime. But at the same time, like the changes, the creative like liberties they took, I wasn't totally okay with.
Yeah.
So it wasn't that good of a series, unfortunately. But
I
again,
guess the other way that they could crack down on passwords would be the multi-factor authentication too,
yeah,
because the people who are using your thing wouldn't
yeah.
necessarily have your phone number, right? If you
Well,
need that
yeah,
code to get in to use it. So
yeah. Well,
that would be one thing I could do.
I would say this. I think they'll just have to keep track of what devices are using your phone. I mean your stuff like YouTube TV does this as well, right? They're actually really YouTube TV is actually really good in the sense that you can't actually change your location because I just told you about the VPN trick for Netflix. You can use the same thing with Disney. Just switch your VPN to a different country and like watch. content there. If you try that with YouTube TV, they'll let you change, but they can only let you do it like twice a year or something like that, right? So like this is actually pretty interesting when it comes to like I follow New Orleans Saints, right? And I don't really care to watch Baltimore or the Commanders.
Oh,
like on so what I would normally do is I would just change like my VPN to like, Dallas or like somewhere like in close in the New Orleans area and watch the Saints games. Well, can't do that anymore because they've kind of cracked down on that as well. Right. Um so yeah, there are definitely ways. The question is how annoying will it be, right? And
yeah.
will they have enough original content that will make me or make people want to buy like their subscriptions, right? So or to subscribe to Netflix. Like again, I'm actually kind of rooting for Netflix, a little bias on my end, because I really like this Netflix's content and they seem to be one of the better companies in the FANG list of companies there. But at the same time, like I'm a little worried. So
Yeah. Well, I don't
so
think they're going anywhere for a long time. You know what I mean?
yeah, I
I
mean
really think what their losses are really just a result of there's so many streaming services out here
they
now.
are. They are. Like just keep in mind, like they're the ones that kicked off like they put they killed Blockbuster, right? Because of a very ever-changing landscape, right?
Yeah.
So now right now
And it's funny because they have the documentary about Blockbuster
yeah,
on Netflix.
yeah. It's an ever-changing landscape, right? And a lot of the things that is on Netflix, they're not the IP. They're not. It's not their intellectual property, right? It's usually that's the scary thing for them, right?
Yeah.
A lot of their content is from other stuff, right? And can be taken away if those platforms are set up right. Like, I mean, again, Netflix is a platform. Now you have all these other platforms kind of in place. What's going to happen? So on and so forth. So we'll see what that is. I'm kind of rooting for Netflix, but we'll see
Yeah.
that. Let's hit up our next topic right quick. Have you caught up with Moon Knight? I think you're at episode 4.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think the last couple
That was the
episodes.
last one, episode 4.
Yeah, episode 4. That was when he got shot, essentially, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Spoiler alert! If you haven't watched Moon
Get
Knight,
ready. Get ready. I hope y'all watch
get
it.
ready. What are your thoughts? One interesting thing I want to point out. So the main character, the actress, she's half Persian, half Bahrainian, I believe. Little random fact: she has alopecia. So same thing as
Wow.
Jada Pinkett Smith, who we know was in the news recently. We're not gonna do another gossip episode.
No, I refuse to give her like any more of my time.
I will say they did have a Red Table Talk recently as well, which they didn't mention the.
I'm sure that was a cluster.
Yeah,
We're healing. We're together. Fuck out of here, man. Next.
yeah,
But no, Moon Knight it's been a mind trip, I feel like.
yeah. The last episode was like, what the fuck's going on here?
I knew my wife was asking, like, how did you know? I realized I think the question now is, when did you realize there was a third personality?
That's a good question. Well, I mean, it had to have been in the previous episode 3 or episode 2, right? Where like the guy's going around killing people, but they didn't know who it was, right? So
Yeah.
I actually thought that Khonshu was possibly taking them over without them knowing, but it looks like there was a third guy there, right? So
Yeah.
we shall see. Her name, by the way, is May El Kalamaway, right? So Bahrainian-born Egyptian-Palestinian actress.
Wow.
Who,
Good for her.
Yeah, no, she's great. I actually really love her character.
Yeah, she's done a good job.
Yeah, she's shown that she can like hold her own in a fight. Right.
Yes, she
On a
did.
number
Yeah.
on a number of times. And she did something like really smart in the last episode where it was a little presumptuous too, but she like set off a flare and threw it inside the the truck that was chasing
Yeah.
her. But yeah. One of my favorite things in the last episode too was when it wasn't Mark, but what's the other? It's
Steven.
Mark. Uh, who?
You
Steve.
mean the other guy,
Yeah,
the other
Steven.
personality? Yeah,
Steven
Steven.
made out with his wife, and then like Mark he punches
Punch
it.
him in the face. I thought that was funny.
That was
I thought that was
hilarious.
hilarious.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, what was happening is like they make out with each other. Like, I mean, she tries to like kiss him first, and he like kind of blocks himself. I'm like, what are you doing? And then they actually do make out. And then he starts thinking of other things, and then Steven just like hits him in the face. Yeah, no, it's actually a solid up. It's been a good series. A nice solid pace. I'll be honest with you, I wasn't super a big fan of the first episode. A little
Yeah.
slow. Outside of that, I think it's gone pretty well. I think it's interesting how they're introducing Egyptian gods now.
It's
Um,
about time, man. Everything is always like Greek mythology or Viking mythology. It's
yeah,
like, can we
it's
get
true. Well,
some other stuff
hopefully,
going?
hopefully they don't pull a gods of Egypt and start like all the Egyptian gods are like whiter or whatever.
I'll give Disney again, and I guess Marvel some credit. Like they're a little more woke than that. Like they're a little
Yeah.
more. I think I'd be shocked if Khonshu ends up being like freaking Gerard Butler or some shit like that. Like I'd be I'd be shocked. I'd be shocked. I'd be shocked.
Yeah, no, no, I think it's actually pretty interesting. So we'll see. It's cool to kind of see the Egyptian goddess, right? Kind of get
Mm-hmm.
the time and like the end of the last episode. I forgot her. It was like Twit, the last Egyptian god at the end of um I mean the episode 4, right? I forgot her name, but the hippopotamus. Uh,
Oh yeah.
um, so yeah, it's actually pretty. It's a pretty good stuff.
So did you know? I didn't realize this until later on. There's actually a tie to Black Panther in the
Because
movie.
one of those gods, right? Boss.
Succulent. Yeah. He in when he was talking, I think about the afterlife. I think he was talking about like Civil War maybe.
Yeah,
He references like Bast and Sekhmet in the afterlife or whatever. So I thought that was pretty cool
yeah,
that they kind of tied that together, or that ended up being tied together like that. I thought that
yeah,
was pretty dope.
yeah. The ancient Egyptian god at the end of episode 4. Her name is To is Taweret. So Tourette, a Tawit.
Okay.
Um, so
What is her purpose? What is she the god of?
that is a good. I think it's a god of pregnancies. I think I am not sure. I have to
Like
look this up.
fertility?
Yeah, fertility.
Okay.
I will need to actually. I have not. I don't have any notes, so I didn't take any notes this
That's
week.
fair. Hey, we
Just kind of winging it. Maybe I have more
well, I
notes.
didn't even did you spell how did you spell her name again?
It's Taweret.
I got it.
Yeah,
Towerette.
yeah. So she's the Egyptian god. I think it's a fertility. I think. I'm
Yep.
not sure.
The protective ancient Egyptian goddess of childbirth and fertility.
Ah, nailed it.
Well done. Well done.
Nailed it. Yeah. See, I know stuff. um, yeah, no. So I'm pretty interested to see kind of what that goes. It looks like they're probably. I wonder if they're gonna release their third um person as well. I wanted to ask you this. So Steven kissing Mark's wife, is that cheating? That kind of cheating?
Well, I think it was the way that she was kissing him back, right? It was just like because she, but I guess
Well, she tried to kiss him first, right?
yeah.
I mean, she was probably like, "F it, you're the same guy, it's the same body." So, is it cheating?
I don't know, man.
Is it kind of cheating? Maybe on from an
Kind
emotional
of,
level.
kind of
An
from
emotional
a
level.
mental, yeah, an emotional level. I think it might be a
Yeah.
little bit.
Which I thought was pretty interesting, though. I do like how it seemed like Mark and Steven, their character growths are coming together a little bit, where they're starting to trust each
Yes.
other a little bit more, right? Where at the beginning he was like, "Fuck this, you're not taking my body," to like,
Yeah, pretty much.
Steve was like, "Oh shit, Mark, Mark, jump in here right quick," right? Also, Steven's kind of doing his own thing a little bit with like Khonshu's like his own suit. So
Yep. I thought that was cool. He was like, you know, uh bring out the suit, and then
yeah,
he actually brings out like a guy in an actual suit, not the
yeah,
armor. I thought that was pretty funny. But
yeah.
then I was also watching a breakdown video. So me and the wife found this channel called The Canadian Lad.
Okay.
He does breakdowns of like all the movies. What he'll do is watch them at like 0.25 times like the speed
Oh
of the
god,
video.
I couldn't freaking.
And hey, but he gets into it.
Yeah.
And one of the things that he pointed out was that once he realized like there was another personality, he said that you could kind of see that because when Mark and Steven flip back to one another, there isn't the transition isn't is more calm, right?
Yeah.
But when the other guy takes over, you kind of see him like stiffen up and do the thing or whatever.
Yeah.
So he went back and showed some examples. I was like, dang, that's pretty. So it's like that third guy's been there like this whole time. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
thought that was pretty
Well,
cool.
I would say there was one. I don't know if I can pull it up here, but there's one little like in the end credit scene where it kind of alludes to or gives you a hint of that there are three personalities. It's when like it shows three faces, right? It shows Mark Spector, Stephen Grant, and then allegedly another face. So it's part of like the end
Mm,
credits too. So they're hinting at a third person there as well. So again, it's been a good series so far. I enjoy every minute of it. Um, Big
so
fan.
now the question is, what's real and what's not? Is this dude psycho or is he a superhero now? Right?
I mean, he's clearly a superhero, right? Um,
Well,
I think
yeah,
where
but
they are, like, that's the question, right? So
yeah,
he got popped in the chest, right? So is that real bullets or is that bullets to kind of force him in like a certain state, right?
yeah.
Where he's clearly in his head, right? And let's say for an example, like so Torwit, who is there in like this, let's call it the sunken place, right? Is that where all the gods who get put in statues, is that where they end up? And if so, where's Kanju, right? Is Kanju going to be there as well?
Yeah.
So it's actually going to be pretty interesting, like the next couple episodes to see exactly um what's happening with that. So our next breakdown, I have a bunch of breakdowns sites to go to as well. New rock stars and heavy spoilers are really good breakdown sites that I've
Okay.
actually used on this show here. So yeah, pretty legit. Um, I forgot to put the link in the description. I'll make sure I do that for the next episodes. The
Yeah. Go back
Spotify,
and do it.
yeah, I'll go back and do that. But yeah, but that's Moon Knight. Pretty solid. Oh, I forgot to tell you, since we haven't talked about it in a minute, apparently there was a King the Conqueror reference in one of the episodes as well. So one of the kids that Mark Spector or like killed, right,
Mhm.
had something on his back that referenced King the Conqueror, right?
Oh,
Um, so King the Conqueror has like obviously many
he's
um
everywhere.
he's everywhere. So one of the things is he was an Egyptian pharaoh, right,
Mhm.
as well. So that's why I mean they have like that on the back of one of their
You know
um
who he reminds me of is Vandal Savage.
King the
I think
Conqueror.
that would be the DC equivalent of Vandal Savage. He doesn't travel through time necessarily like King the
Yeah,
Conqueror, but he's immortal.
yeah,
He's been around like every major event all through history. You know what I mean?
yeah. It's gonna be pretty interesting to kind of see how they reconcile that, especially with like what they did with the Eternals, which I wasn't a big
Yeah.
fan of that story, to be honest with you. But yeah, no, Moon Knight's gonna be pretty interesting. I wonder if we'll actually see uh King the Conqueror or Gorg, who's the God Killer, right? That's gonna be in the next door movie, which by the way was
Oh,
gonna
can we talk about that trailer?
yeah, let's talk about that trailer for a second. We didn't even have it as part of the things that we're going to talk about, but let's go ahead and talk about it real quick. Um,
Happy to finally see it. It's been a
yeah,
long time coming, dog. Been
great
happy to finally
trailer.
see this trailer.
Great trailer. I forgot the song that they were doing with it. Is it ACDC or whatever? I forgot the name.
I have no idea. That's not. I don't listen to that music at all. I have no idea. Oh, you just went out.
Uh, am I
There you
back?
go. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're back.
My CPU is at 100%, so that
Okay.
makes sense now. Yeah. Just make sure I am managing my um, tabs or whatever. So yeah. All right. So yeah, no, Natalie Portman looked pretty yoked in in that trailer. So yeah, what are your thoughts? Initial thoughts. Let's just start there.
Again, about time.
Mm,
Um, I thought I liked the beginning, the little montage of like when you show him, as a young kid running, and you see like as he grows up, but you see all his. It was like a callback to all the different looks that he's had over time. I thought that was dope. You saw the winged helmet, the old school costume when he was a younger man. Um, you saw the one of the beasts that the God Killer killed.
mhm.
Um,
Which
you
was
saw
one to
that.
one from the that was a one to one scene from the actual comic book too. Like they showed like at
Yes,
reviews, so
yes,
it was right out of the comic book.
yeah. So I thought that was cool. And then it looked like it's like he's because his character arc's been really interesting, right? Because throughout the four movies, his power levels have fluctuated a lot, right? Um, and it was like in Ragnarok, like he came to his full potential, but then all this stuff has happened to him, and it seems like his power levels, because of what's happened to him, his power levels has gone up and down. I mean,
Yeah.
he's really been through a lot. So it'll be interesting to see how he gets himself back into fighting shape and to watch him like figure out exactly like who Thor is and who Thor is supposed to be.
Yeah.
Um, I'm kind of hoping that's the focus of the movie because before he was all about his destiny to rule Asgard,
Yeah.
right? And he finds that Asgard is the people, so he's king for like all of 5 minutes before Thanos comes and wrecks shop,
Yeah.
right? Then he kind of plummets down into this deep depression, gains all the weight, becomes out of shape, can't fight as good. And part of the trailer shows him getting back into shape,
Yeah.
right? With the battle ropes,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So you see that, and then all of a sudden, boom, you flash to Jane Foster with as with Thor's powers, with Mjolnir,
A
right?
broken Mjolnir.
A broken Mjolnir.
You see it in the like their cracks and it's kind of stitched together.
I
So
like how they kept it broken. I do
yeah,
like that.
yeah,
Um, and I'm wondering how closely they're going to follow the comic story with that, because Jane Foster had cancer, so the
yes.
more she used his powers, the more harm that it did to her, right? Um,
Oh.
and so I'm curious to see, what that means, right? Is it her predicament kind of call him back to Earth to protect Midgard? Like she's obviously Midgard's protector right now that he's gone, right? He's gone kind of gone on to kind of find himself or whatever. He's going to encounter the God Killer, but somebody has to be there to protect Midgard.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, you have all of Asgard there, but
well, all 10 of them, right? And that was
well,
the other
there are
thing.
more than 10.
You
You saw the
saw, you
army.
saw,
You
you
saw the
saw
army
Valkyrie,
show up. Yeah,
yeah,
you saw the
but you
army
saw
show up.
Valkyrie, right? And
Yeah,
she did not look happy
yeah.
being in charge. She did not look
No,
happy
yeah,
at all.
it did show Valkyrie. So Tessa Thompson, ah, beautiful Tessa Thompson.
We love you.
So yeah, we love you. You're great. Don't ever change. But she's
Come
actually
on the show.
yeah, come on the show. But she's actually one of the first, like, I think she's gonna be listed as non-binary in her character. I think. I'm not entirely sure. Um, so a little bit of like visual prowess, so to speak. What they're doing was that they were showing her and she was sitting between two restrooms in the middle. So she was sitting between like a man and a woman's bathroom. So I wonder if there's kind of like some way to
Damn, I
kind of
didn't even notice that.
yeah,
Ah,
they kind of yeah, when you saw her, she was sitting between a man and a woman's bathroom. So I think that's some sort of symbolism to kind of
definitely a statement. Definitely a
yeah,
statement scene
to
right
kind
there.
of show kind of what she is. So I think it's pretty interesting. If you saw in the Spider-Man movie, right, it did mention in one of the newsreels, right, that there's trouble in New Asgard, right?
Yeah.
So just talk about this a little bit. So I wonder if her being like super frustrated or kind of these Earthlings are trying to take our technology, you know, or
Yeah.
these Earthlings are like screwing up the planet, you know. Why
All in
would
Wakanda, man. They're the only people that can like probably talk to him with some intelligence.
yeah, I mean, it would be nice if like them and Wakanda had like, you know, some sort of agreement or whatever, which is great. But it looks like that place has turned into more of a tourist attraction, it looks like.
Yeah.
Um,
I feel like they could have gone to Disney World because they have like
yeah, they turned into a tourist attraction, which I mean, I'm not mad at, but you know, we'll see.
gotta make your
Um,
money.
yeah, I mean, no, go ahead and do you. So, no, I'm actually extremely happy for it. By the way, the trailer music was Guns N' Roses,
Okay.
Sweet Child of Mine.
Okay.
So, yeah, I was mistaken. But yeah, no, it looks like it's gonna be a good movie. I think he's gonna separate from like the Guardians of the Galaxy early in
Oh
that
yes.
trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like it. I think he's gonna either there's gonna be some sort of montage of him getting back in shape. Then he's gonna do some work with the Guardians of the Galaxy, and he's gonna like not feel like into the work that he's doing, and he has to do some more searching, or whatever. We get
Well,
to
in the trailer it says he decides to use his hands for peace. It
yeah,
seemed like he just took a while to kind of just sit and like ponder things. Remember, they show him kind of just on this planet, kind of like in this meditative state
yeah,
or whatever. So maybe he
yeah.
just sits there for a while.
I think I think I think what's happened is that that whole montage of him like getting like so that him exercising is going to be part of a workout montage.
Oh,
Like
of course.
guarantee it, right? Um, for sure. And I think there's a part where um if you feel lost, just look at the people who you love, right? That's what Quill was saying, and like he was looking at his team, and then he kept jumping in front of it. He goes, "What are you doing?" He goes, fine. Uh, yeah, no. So No, it looks like it's gonna be a good movie. It's gonna be so long from now. There's so many like movies just kind of just down the pike.
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't even talk about the other gods. So we have the Norse gods, right? Now we have also
Here's a
the
scene
Greek
of
gods.
Olympus.
Yeah, Olympus, um, which I think is about to get effed up by Gore.
That's what I was just about to say. You know what they are? Victims.
It's like
But you know what that opens the door to,
before
right?
it happens, before the destruction.
Let's say Gore comes there to kill them.
Yeah,
I think then that I think Hercules is probably going to be the one who survives. He's been a member of the Avengers,
yeah,
right? So I think what you could have happen is if this is, let's say this is the last Thor movie,
yeah.
and he does whatever he does to save the day, and then goes off and does whatever. The next like strong guy, Hercules, kind of take his
Yeah.
place, right?
Well, there's gonna be a lot of OP characters there. Like, so you have Thor, you're gonna have Hercules. They're coming with the Fantastic Four, so you're gonna have the Thing. That's gonna be there. Um, the Doctor Strange is gonna be in a couple of weeks. You already have two OP characters there with Doctor Strange and WandaVision. Or and
I can't wait for that, man. I got high hopes for that one.
yeah, I
I
have
want
a
to
high
see
for
that so
that one
bad.
too. It's gonna be only 2 hours long, which is gonna be shocking.
Yeah,
Um,
it's
so
gonna be nonstop action. That's what I'm starting to
I'm
think.
I'm hoping so. They said that it was going to be like a horror film, and I'm kind of hoping.
Mm,
I'm not a big horror film kind of person. That's the whole
not
reason.
at all.
Yeah, I've only watched Get Out. I haven't watched the other
Yeah,
uh movies because I'm not a horror movie guy. But
yeah.
yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that works for only 2 hours too. So it's crazy. Jordan Peele, the director of Get Out. Trying to make sure I get
Shout
my
out to Jordan Peele. Yeah.
yeah, trying to make sure I get my names just down packed. Okay, a little bit over time, but you want to talk NBA playoffs right quick, or have you been keeping up with it?
Let's talk about the Nets, man.
Oh, we can talk about the Nets.
Uh, I don't know what to say. You know what's funny is that Kyrie Irving, they interviewed this dude, and he's like, "Yeah, I think it might be a chemistry issue."
Like,
I feel like the whole world is like, this is coming from the dude that like didn't play, didn't show up, right? You play like half the games, and then you talking about, yeah, we have a chemistry problem. You think?
shocking.
Right?
I mean, he lost a lot of money because of this, right? Because of
You
him
don't
not.
care about the money.
But you know, yeah, it's crazy. Well, something else too is that he's also fasting, right? And he's observing Ramadan. He's fasting, and he was kind of flipping off the Boston crowd, which is hilarious because if you're fasting, part of it too is not just you not eating, but you're also being more, I guess, thoughtful, right?
Mm,
And not being essentially not doing the shit that he was doing, right? You're not cursing, you're being more Islamic, right? So I thought that was really interesting how lots been said of him fasting. Last like player that was just popular that was fasting was actually Hakeem Ojul, not Hakeem Ojul.
Hakeem Olajuwon.
I literally said this. Hakeem Abdul-Jabbar.
Wow. Wow.
Just mixing up my basketball player. Hakeem Abdul-Jabbar. No, Hakeem Olajuwon was the one that I've last known. That was a popular figure that was fasting at the same time, and of course he
Yeah.
off anyone. That being said, if Kyrie Irving wasn't fasting, I'd be all for him flipping off like Boston because they're kind of known for being a little bit racist, and
Well, yeah, yeah.
who knows what was said to him, right? So I'm kind of like, yeah, I mean, I'm not anti that, but like you are fasting, and if you're going to talk about how you're fasting and kind of
Yeah.
being one with God and having this spiritual, thing, you getting ticked off by someone else and kind of pulling them off kind of defeats the purpose of that. So, but
Yeah.
outside of that though, like I am shocked. Like they're down 3-0. Like KD's
I'm
been
shocked, man.
like
I
Jason Tatum
think
blocked a
if
shot like twice, which is something
yeah,
I've never seen anyone do other than uh Giannis Antetokounmpo, right?
yeah,
Who's 7-footer, so of course he can like block KD shot. But I did not think freaking Jason Tatum could block a shot like
yeah.
crazy
KD
twice.
KD is probably my second favorite player right now in the league, right?
Who's your first?
My favorite is Steph.
Okay.
But I'm just watching that guy struggle, man. Like I really wanted him to have a good series. I really wanted the squad to be like really competitive, man. If
Yeah,
they
I
get bounced
mean,
in the first round, they're probably gonna blow
well,
that team up.
they're gonna get bounced in the first round regardless. Like that's just gonna happen. Um, like they may win game 4, maybe, you know, just for the sake of pride. They're at home and whatnot.
Right.
Uh, but then again, you have Ben Simmons who hasn't played since like last year playoffs. In the playoffs of
Waste of
last year.
space.
Yeah, he hasn't played then. Kyrie, I don't know where his mental state is, to be honest with you. And Katie's actually struggling. Not to mention they don't have like a strong coach to rely upon either,
You
right?
got for a rookie coach, pretty much.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
essentially a rookie coach who had no coaching experience prior. They pretty much got him because like it almost felt like, well, even Kyrie said it. It's like, I feel like I'm the coach or Katie can be the coach.
Hmm.
And like he just really just kind of like cut Steve Nash's legs right under him, right? Like took away
Yep.
all authority. So they're gonna the way I see it, like, well, you have two things, right? You have obviously the lessening of the vaccine mandates, right? But that doesn't take away the fact that like Kyrie just isn't a team player, right? You're not willing to get a vaccine shot, which are safe, to like play basketball. And you said it yourself, like basketball is not like your priority right now, right? Like there are other things that he wants to do, which is fair, right? But I would probably move him, right?
I feel like you have
Like,
to at this point.
yeah, I mean, if that's the if basketball's not your number one priority, that's fine, but we're not paying you millions of dollars.
For you to go discover yourself.
The same thing with Russell Westbrook. It's like when Russell Westbrook's like, yeah, I don't have to win a championship. I already won a championship. I'm already a champion by leaving the hood. I'm like, well, that's good for you. But if I'm like the Lakers ownership, Lakers GM, I'm like, look, we're trying to win a chip here. So like I'm happy you feel like you're a champion, but you're not a champion on this team. We're trying to make that happen. If you don't want that, you send you to like freaking some small market team where you can get like triple doubles all you want, and no one's gonna care.
Yeah, but at least with
So
Westbrook, I don't have to question his like competitive
yeah,
spirit, his devotion to the game. With
and you have
Kyrie,
to
you
question.
actually have to question, like, dude, do you want to play? Do you want to do
Yeah,
this?
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah. You know, you're right. Like Kyrie has all the skills. He doesn't feel like he definitely doesn't feel like he wants to play. Versus Westbrook, he definitely wants to play. He just doesn't hasn't figured out exactly how to fit in with this team. Again, not all his fault, but a lot of it is his fault. Um, so yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's where that is. But yeah, other big shocks. So I think Memphis Grizzlies overperformed this year. The Grizzlies overperformed this year, but like they're in the 2-2 game with the Timberwolves, and Timberwolves has not been that great of a team. So what's up with that?
Looking for the Grizzlies to pull that one out
Yeah,
for
they should.
sure.
They'll get. I think in a good if I think they'll be up against Golden State in the next round. Golden State will destroy them for sure in
Good.
the second round. Yeah, it's just, it looks like Golden State has a really strong chance of making the finals, especially with like Devin Booker being hurt. Because like without Devin Booker being like close to 100%, like they don't stand a chance. Phoenix, unfortunately.
Yeah.
One other thing too, Boston looks super good. Like they
Did
are
you
the
see the
number
fight?
one defensive. I did not
Oh,
see the fight.
oh, oh. I thought you said boxing. Sorry, my bad.
Oh,
My
I
bad.
did
You
not see
said
the fight.
Boston looks really good.
Oh, Tyson Fury fought yesterday.
Yes.
Did he win?
Yeah, he knocked that dude out.
In like what, round one?
Round 6. Yeah,
Oh,
round 6. The guy was trying, but it was like
yeah.
Fury. I mean, he had them hands, and all of a sudden, I was turned over talking to somebody, and I look back. Oh, he's down. I was like, what?
Yeah.
But he hit that dude with this uppercut over.
They did kind of go after like Tyson Fury for like fighting someone that's like totally beneath him, like especially after the Deontay Wilder fights, right? Which they both almost go the distance, right? Like I think there was stoppage in like what, round 10 or something like that, and like Wilder had like no legs under him. So I'd like to see him try to unify that belt.
If he would just go ahead and fight, his legacy to me will never be complete until he fights Anthony Joshua. That was the fight that was supposed to happen. They screwed around.
Anthony Joshua doesn't have like the belt anymore, so you need to go after the guy that has the belt.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean Anthony Joshua lost his belt, so yeah, he needs to go after the guy that has the belt to unify, just kind of like how Canelo did, where he unified, I think it was a super middleweight.
Yeah.
Under that, so yeah. No, back a little bit to basketball. Yeah, Boston looks good. Their defense
man.
is legit.
If they win this series, I think you're looking at the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, because I don't trust. I definitely don't trust the 76ers. And now Joel Embiid's hurt a little bit. Yeah, it's only a matter of time until James Harden like fucks up in the playoffs. That's kind of what he does. So yeah, and Miami overperformed this year as well. I don't think they're a true number one seed. We'll see.
That's a good squad, man.
It's a strong squad.
It's a good squad.
But they don't look as strong as Boston right now. Like Boston just shocked the fuck out of me. And if they stay healthy, that's another thing too. That's the key.
Yeah.
Playoffs. That's what was last year's playoffs. The teams that stayed like the healthiest team won, right?
Yeah.
Milwaukee won the championship, but they were the healthiest team by far, right? Well, actually, not entirely true. 76ers were pretty healthy too. They just had a problem.
Yeah.
With Ben Simmons. Milwaukee was like the healthiest team by far. If they can just stay healthy, like it's gonna be who stays healthy. And I agree. That will be it right there. Okay. I think we are at it, man. I think I got everything I wanted. Talk about everything we need to talk about. Got anything else for the team? For everyone?
No, sir. As always, I appreciate everybody for joining in. Thanks to my cousin Markia. Thanks to the guys from our partner podcast over there. I call them partners. They gave us a sub, so we're gonna give y'all a sub back for sure.
Absolutely.
And
thank you very much.
Appreciate you for watching and supporting.
Yeah. Thank you guys for watching. Can't wait to see you guys again. We'll do this again next week.
I think so.
Let's do this again.
We'll
be next week. But we do need to kind of get together and kind of figure out to do the streaming for our
for Call of Duty.
Call of Duty, or I was gonna say
and Gran Turismo. Yeah, and Gran Turismo.
I'm not a first-person shooter guy, so I probably can't do Call of Duty. I'll be the noob that gets killed like 10 times in 2 seconds. So, for sure. But we can do some Gran Turismo. I haven't done like the Gran Turismo Sport mode because I don't have like the PlayStation Plus.
You cheap bastard.
I told you
$60 a month and get on there and do it.
How much is it a month?
$60.
6 or 60?
Wait. I'm sorry.
Did you say 60?
I'm sorry.
That
It's
might be fucking $60.
it's
Fuck
it's
that.
$60. It's $60 for the year. My bad.
Okay. He said $6 a month.
Wow. Yeah.
That is fuck. I think I already told you how many services I have.
You
And I
want
guess
that password? You want my password?
we'll have to get that password. Yeah. No, I may do that. I mean, if I were to get it,
60
then
bucks for the year. Yeah.
if I were to get it, I'll be only getting it for this though. I may switch back to I think I told you already I beat the game, right? I mean, what I mean by that is I completed all the cafe stuff and it gave like the end credits and I have like the gold medal for it, like the gold trophy.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, it's pretty solid. Yeah, I was in a bit of a rut with Gran Turismo, but I was playing the game this week and things started clicking.
Yeah, man.
Um,
It's a good game.
yeah, it's a great game. I got a stupid fast car. It's a rally car.
Oh, okay.
And because I originally bought it for dirt tracks because what I tried doing was I tried changing one of my four-wheel drive cars and just threw some dirt tires on it and tried to do the dirt races. Did not work at all. Like I mean I gave him a run for her money a little bit, but like after like I just kept spinning out. It was just like you need a car tuned for that type of shit. So I
Yeah,
accidentally
yeah, yeah.
spent like was it 350,000 credits, got a car, um, souped it up. And I use it for like my race car too, and it's so good. It's so good.
Okay.
Um, it's so fast. It handles great. The only problem is, uh, there are a couple races that are. So something else about Gran Turismo too is that I don't know what I don't I have the international B license. I'm working on the international A license right now and the S license, but you don't need either of those to beat the game,
Hmm.
right? There are no international, at least from my knowledge. Um, all my gamer friends out there, please let me know, like if there are like any reason for an S class license to like actually use it because I haven't seen it. It also seems like there are less tracks this time. Like a lot of
Yeah.
the old Gran Turismo tracks aren't there, or a couple of them at least. I'm sure they'll add them on like later, which is what annoys me about some of these games now, where like you're not getting like a complete game and they're just doing add-ons like
Oh yeah.
later.
Yeah.
So that's what I hated about freaking Metal Gear Solid. Great game. It was a decent game. It was an incomplete game though, which is what's annoying.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's just me kind of rambling. Thank you guys so much for watching, much appreciated. If you're still watching, like, comment, and subscribe. Um, help us grow this channel, help us grow what we're trying to do. Um, and yeah, much appreciated. I'm gonna start. I forgot to do this for this episode, but starting in the future, I'll remember to put our podcast where you can find us on podcasts, right? So on Spotify, well, on Anchor, which goes to Spotify and all the other podcast areas, like, like, comment, subscribes, give us a sub there as well. Much appreciated.
Yeah.
Outside of that, thank you guys so much. And I will see y'all later. Peace out.